What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our series on Avatar. That's
Yeah.
Nate. I'm Christian. And this is the review of episode 3. We had a very lengthy watch session.
We did. We did.
Talked about a lot of things, and not all of them show related.
Yeah.
So
I
now we
mean,
can talk
very,
about
very lightly related at the end of the
right.
at the end of the conversation. Yeah.
Yes,
So
but yeah, now we can talk about the actual episode and what we thought of it. Now, one thing I noticed, because I told you I just been watching the actual cartoon,
right.
and this is about where I stopped watching so far. So I kind of want to go back and watch and catch up so I can
Okay.
see before the next ones.
hmm
But this episode in particular, to me, was very different. I'm not sure if you recall.
Yeah, because yes, I
Yeah,
I mean I
because
don't recall
yeah,
specifics, but this was stretched out into is going to be stretched out into 2 episodes. Was the
seems like it.
original 1 episode or
I don't
two?
recall, but I know they met the king sooner,
Right.
and
Exactly.
it was a little more of a I mean, as is, I think the cartoon overall was just more lighthearted,
hmm
right?
Yeah.
And so with this episode, I know they were Aang's biggest thing was getting there because he wanted to ride on those transport things.
Right. Okay.
Right. That was the big thing, was getting on it and like sledding all the way down the thing. Like that's what he really
Okay.
wanted to do, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
because he was just, a
Right.
more
It's
fun in,
kid.
in the
Yeah.
cartoon, right? Whereas
hmm
here he's like more burdened by
Yeah.
his task at hand and
Right.
helping everyone. So that's just one thing, that like a tonal thing that I was like, I don't know. But I again, I know it's difficult to like make it too goofy,
hmm
right? In live action, it can be very corny and
Yeah.
see. So, I'm not mad about that. But I guess overall, how do you feel about kind of the tone of the episode?
I mean, I liked it. I wasn't. I liked it. Yeah, there was a lot of it in there that I didn't remember. I mean, not I didn't remember. I was like, I don't feel like this was in this show, but I
Right.
couldn't be like, no, it wasn't, or whatever. Um, I kind of thought that they might somehow bring those two, like the mechanic and the resistance group together.
Mm-hmm.
They might in the next episode, but I feel like it would be better if they brought them together rather than making one the bad guy and one the good guy, which is kind of where they're leaning. So, but that to me, that would be super awesome if they did that, because for me, they both are, have valid points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know what Sai was doing.
Yeah. Sai was
Well,
the
well,
rebel
what,
leader, right?
what's the father's name or the son's name? I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, Sai. Okay, yeah,
Either
I
way,
know.
we don't know. We still don't know why the father was meeting with
Right,
the Fire
exactly.
Nation,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
We know seemingly that this jet guy, that he blew up, a piece of the city trying
hmm
to, I guess, root out
Smoke
the
out the yeah.
spies, right?
hmm
But also it seems like, according to Uncle Iroh, that the Fire Nation was kind of instigating stuff in the city to
Right.
weaken them.
hmm
So
So there is something going on, which is why I want to
right.
see these two kind of come together, because I don't think either of these two are fighting. I think they're both trying to fight for the city, but in different ways.
Right.
You
And
know?
in very flawed ways,
Right.
apparently.
Very flawed. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
don't be blowing up the city. What are you doing?
Right. And
Like,
then you're just
figure
gonna
some
like
other way
murder
out.
this man, right, with this bomb and kill the king because you
Right.
wanna, they're not doing enough. I'm like,
Right.
that's a little bit too far, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
So,
much.
but also what was kind of strange, I guess, to me. I mean, I guess I suppose it could happen, but like Aang realized, oh, these are the same claws that from that is some weak
I just,
evidence.
is that not common?
Yeah, because I was
Right? Like,
thinking
look,
this is
rope
not.
and like blankets. It's the same ones. Like, I mean, sir.
Yeah, there was some faulty writing. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably
Or
the
this
first episode.
Aang just happened to be correct, but is a very bad detective. He's like, aha. I'm like, no, but I guess you're right. But That was bad logic, sir.
yeah, that was not good. But yeah, one of well, I said that before. So this episode for me, I liked it. For the most part, it was good. Like 70-80% of it was great. Um, that part, that writing part where he was like, "We think it's from there or whatever." That you paused it and you were like, "Well, now I guess it makes more sense. It does make a little bit more sense that, but it still doesn't make sense that no one else is like researching this. Like no one else is going out here. Like what is the king doing? And even
Right.
if the king is incompetent, what is his second in command doing?
Yeah,
Like,
no one is
no,
doing
yeah, this is so weird. You know what I
anything.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it is odd. But yeah, there were several things like that in this episode. Just like a lot of people just not they seem to be doing things that seemed kind of not fully thought out. Or just
yeah,
like or their reason is just very weak. Like even
yeah.
when Aang was like, I'm gonna help one person at a time. I'm like,
That's
what do
so
you what do
poorly
you
written.
what? Like
Man,
what are you
because
talking about?
it
Why
was written to be
why?
like impactful, but for me it was like, well, I mean, because he just nullified it right after, and I'm gonna save the
Yeah,
city,
right.
bruh. Then just say you
Like
gonna save the city. One,
right.
I mean, like,
But like I understand like even one person matters, right? So if
yes,
like
yes,
I wouldn't ignore helping the one person that you walk
right,
past because hey, I'm the avatar. I got to help
right,
bigger fish. So sorry,
mm-hmm, right,
leave you to die.
right,
I
right,
get
right.
that.
We don't do that.
But this
Yes,
family wasn't dying, right?
mm-hmm,
Like you can come back and see them later. Like you came to see the king to figure out what's going on, right?
right,
So
yeah,
go do that,
right,
right? Why pause all of that because
yeah.
this guy has an
I
idea
mean,
about using air to drop bombs on them, right?
right,
Let me okay, that's a great idea.
mm-hmm,
Pause. Let me figure out what's going on,
mm-hmm.
and I'll come back to you.
But and see, and that issue is, I feel like, exacerbated by the fact that like he works for the king. So, well, according to them, so go to the king. Like I don't understand why you would stop at the middleman.
Right.
Like just instinctively stop at the middleman. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense, especially since this guy is taking his invention to the king, right? Just go to the
And
king, you
like
know?
for me, those are the first people you talk to.
Yeah,
And
like
so the
if
first
you
people you talk to, whatever they tell you is the truth.
oh,
No.
you're talking about, yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as what's happening,
Yeah,
they told you something and you're like, "Okay,
right.
cool."
All of a
Running
sudden
with
they're
it.
completely trustworthy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everything they say is
N-
even if they're trustworthy, like
mhm.
this is their particular perspective of these
Right.
people that do this specific thing. Like
Yeah.
you see, it's a huge city.
Yeah.
If it was some little village, okay, cool. Y'all probably know what's up. Like it's all the
Right.
same. But like
Yeah.
this is a huge city. Like look at all this. And you stop here.
Yep.
Weird.
No, I felt like that was I felt like that there were some parts that I'm just like, I understand you
Yeah.
all are trying to for some aesthetic but or something, but I don't like that. I feel like it could have been better written, and the
Yeah.
sad thing is all you have to do is just change some things around. That's it, you know. Like I understand, like I said, he was like one person at a time. I understand that that's for like you're trying to make an impact, but you really just sound dumb.
Yeah, could you literally
I'm just
can't.
gonna put, yeah, you. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. Help an individual, but if you're really trying to like stop this war or something, like yeah, you go to where you're going to have the most impact, right? There's bombs, it's already been done. Like the people that are hurt are already hurt. Can you heal them? Probably not.
Right.
So like let's go and stop it before
Yeah.
another one hits. And we're not going to do that by like they didn't do that. They didn't. I mean, well, what's her name did? Katara did because she figured out who it was, right? But that was, well, no, I guess Aang did. I mean, to be honest, it
Yeah.
did end up working out at the end of the day, like because they stumbled across these
Right.
clothes that what are you
And they
talking
left
about,
them
you know?
there, which
Yeah.
one, why'd you leave it? Two, how'd you recognize it that it was there
Yeah.
specifically? Very
And
strange.
just
Yeah, and
yeah.
not to I feel like I'm just gonna beat up the whole episode, but, like, just the whole I mean, it's this is what we're watching, right? The idea
Right.
of, like, a band of, like, random kids in the woods with, like, a
Mhm.
camp that are, like, fighting, guerrilla warfare against, like, trained soldiers, this doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense to me.
I
Like, I
mean,
just
if you
doesn't
have enough of them, so like in their battle, there was 3 against what, however
right.
many,
But
7 or
how
something like
I
that.
I'm just trying to figure out how those kids even lasted long enough to learn anything about fighting,
Yeah, I don't
right?
know,
Because you
but
started out as kids
mhm.
and you had to train.
Yeah.
So were you just hiding out until you got your skills up and then went and attacked people?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, those kids, I feel like when you were still learning how to fight, y'all would have just been killed.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing with these like kid shows who are the saviors,
Right.
sort of thing. Yeah, because they're not. There's just like, oh yeah, kids doing this, and so what are the adults doing? They're just twiddling their thumbs,
Right,
like like.
like in this scenario, right, it was a bunch of y'all and you caught them off guard and it was like,
Hmm.
8 against 3, right? Whatever, and they
Right.
weren't ready for you.
Hmm.
Okay, that may and y'all have some skill set now.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But again,
Yeah.
it's not that kind of show, so
Hmm.
give some leeway. But I was like, mm,
Yeah.
okay, sure.
But yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like I understand the idea, but the just not paying
Yes,
attention to kind of,
yes, yes,
I mean, it
yes.
doesn't have to be super realistic, but just things that would make your brain say, okay, this makes sense, instead of like having these, they're plot holes, right? So instead of having those, just like, when I write, I am very intentional about trying to find as many plot holes as possible in what I'm writing so that I can make it, there does come a point where you're just like, oh, you know the way that plays out in my head, there is a plot hole, but it's not super huge, and you could actually end up filling it in later. You know what I mean? But plot holes like this are kind of just blatant and like in my face, and I'm just like, I can't ignore that. I'm sorry. And this is the first time I think in the 3 episodes that I feel like it was just kind of lazy writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a
Not the
lot of
whole thing.
things just
Not the
yeah,
whole
just
thing.
just didn't it just didn't really seem as plausible as the
Yeah.
others, right? Like, okay, because okay, sure, Sokka is like fighting, but he was also like
An
left in charge of his
engineer.
village, and he's been training every day. Yeah, he's not a
Mhm.
great fighter, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
also that, like, he can fight. He's
Mhm.
not great,
Yeah.
right? He's probably gonna lose most most fights by
Right, yeah.
himself,
Mhm.
right? So which makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Um, that village, Kyoshi, right? Kyoshi Village, right?
Mhm.
All those were younger people fighting, but again, like
But they've been training,
they've been
like, they're
training, right, all of the
right.
time,
Right.
like, that's what they do is they train
Mhm.
to fight.
Right.
So, if yeah, they're young, but they've also been training since they were little, right? Makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's things that like, okay, it's kids, but it's either their skill set matches their
Mhm.
training or, like, they've
Mhm.
been training, so,
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't even think
cool.
about that. So yeah, because these people here, yeah, we don't know. We don't know. It doesn't look like they had, no, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because they all have, like, random, like, this one got a bow and arrow,
Right.
this one's got flinging 2
Yeah.
swords, the hooks around and doing the crazy stuff, this one's,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
okay, sure,
And
that's fine.
plus they got into that, and it was very recent, right, that they started doing this
It
because he had
seems.
just lost, he had just
Right.
lost his, it seems like, yeah, I mean, we don't really know how old he was.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess you could
even
develop that within a couple years,
yeah, I don't know.
to be
Can you?
honest.
Right? Like
I
this is
don't
the
know.
thing, right? Like if you had like no one to train you
Mhm.
correctly, right? You
Mhm.
can practice for years and
Mhm.
not be very good. Because you don't know what you're doing. Like you can be better than you were,
Right.
but it doesn't mean you're gonna have any level of proficiency just because you practice it. Like practicing is not what makes you good at something, right? It's
Yeah, well,
intentional
it's
practice. It's like
intentional
it's
practice,
certain
yeah.
and it's knowing what to do, right? Like
Well, it's when you don't have someone showing you, it's your imagination that, so like you're like looking at the physics of things, be like, believe I should be able to do this, right? Without cutting off my any ligaments or something like that. And you can practice and get that, but there might be someone who knows how to do it more efficiently, make it look nicer and stuff like that. So it's not like you will be this excellent swordsman, but yeah, you if you had to fight just and see, this is the issue. If you had to fight like the average
Oh,
person,
sure. Yeah. That yeah, like yeah, you can probably do it, but like
right, yeah,
fighting people that have trained
right, and that's the
actual,
issue.
like
Like,
that's
yeah,
like me teaching myself basketball versus someone that's been like
right,
coached basketball. Like that's just
yeah,
not the same thing. you
hmm,
know,
yeah, yeah,
but anyway, not to
yep,
I don't want to beat up the show too much. But I did have a question 'cause I mentioned that a little bit when we were watching it, but what do you think about this Fire Nation? I'm not sure if it's a general, but the guy that's working with Iroh and Zuko.
yeah.
What do you think about what his angle seems to be? Because
Man, he just seems like somebody he want because what?
because initially, again, he immediately sent word to the Fire Lord, right,
Right.
about the Avatar, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then Azula, the daughter, messages him. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, perfect. Now we're in the big leagues."
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yeah.
he's trying to work with her. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't is there something about this dynamic we don't know about? Or what could he be angling at, do you think?
I
Becau
think he just wants to be recognized. Like he said that from since I think it was yeah, it was the last episode. He said that he was like, we'll finally like he's in this backwater town, blah blah blah. He doesn't feel like he should be there. The guy said that he failed his test multiple times. That's why he's probably there. He just wants to be kind of recognized. I think he thinks that the princess or the whatever Azuk, what's her name? Azuk,
Azula?
Azula is working with the Fire Lord, you know? So I don't think he would have any um bel I don't think he would have any thought that she's working on her own, you know? Because if it's coming from her and she's signing it, it's her. Like I'd just be like, oh yeah, okay, so because it doesn't have to come from the Fire Lord directly. If it comes from through one of his people,
Yeah,
it's
that's interesting. Yeah, so I guess to your point, when he sent word to the Fire Lord, he probably didn't get a personal response,
right.
right? So
Hmm.
this is a personal connection very
Right.
high up. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
And I
I
guess
mean,
he's
that's
also his assumption, which is probably true, is
mhm,
that she's in a better place than Zuko, who he's constantly backstabbing.
mhm.
Because he could have legitimately worked with him, right?
This is
And
true.
then
Yeah.
return with
Hmm.
him and the Avatar, right? And you had helped him, and so now both you guys are in a good place.
Yeah.
Instead, you're backstabbing him and
Hmm.
doing this other thing
Yeah.
to now work with his sister. So
Hmm.
I don't know if he's just trying to play everybody or like what is it's just like what are you really, trying to get at? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It is interesting trying to figure out what he's trying to do. But
Yeah. I just figured he's just desperate for some attention, but it could be something deeper. Like it could be, and that would be cool if it was deeper. But I feel like he's just desperate for some attention. So
yeah. All right, last theory,
what's
or
up?
maybe not.
Hmm.
Do you have any ideas that of what you think this mechanic guy is doing, the mechanist?
So I was thinking about that and I could not tell. I don't know if they're trying to actually set up with the king something to protect the excuse me, trying to protect the kingdom or yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's a good guy. Like a good guy, just whatever.
But he was meeting with that Fire Nation spy.
Yeah, and that is what's weird. I don't know, but I like not knowing. I like that intrigue, and they didn't address it immediately. So I just assumed that they're going to address it. Obviously, yeah, that is something I really like about the writing was that one angle right there. So I'm intrigued. I want to know. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been trying to think about it, and I really can't think of any valid reason other than just some kind of a truce. right? Whereas, we supply you this and then you don't bomb us or something, right? Because again, that last bomb we saw was from inside. So,
Mhm.
maybe there's some way that they've kind of worked out some kind of arrangement,
Hmm.
to kind of keep the peace,
Okay.
that most people probably wouldn't appreciate. But
Yeah.
hey, look, if it keeps the peace, keep the peace for now, potentially.
Right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
I
That's
don't
interesting.
know. I
I
don't
don't know. I
know.
couldn't. I was trying to think of it because I was just like, why would he be meeting up with him? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I have
And
no
and
idea.
it's at one point I thought, well, maybe that Fire Nation guy wasn't, maybe he was, actually working for um the Earth Kingdom, right? But then the way he
Hmm.
was, although who knows if Jet was correct and to even attack him.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause he's
I was thinking
obviously,
that too because I was like, he doesn't seem like. I don't know if he was as like. I know he's a firebender, but I don't know if he's the bad guy,
yeah,
right?
we don't
And
know.
so, like Jet, he's just attacking anything, like anything that moves. Like
Right.
he just doesn't trust anybody at all. So, like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. It is very interesting.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's a good
It
question.
is.
I don't know, but I will figure it out, and I think it'll. I hope hopefully they will make it make sense.
Yes. Well, one thing that I did really enjoy was kind of the hand-to-hand kind of fight scenes with Aang and,
Yeah.
Zuko. That was
Okay.
fun. As you mentioned, it was kinda like Jackie Chan, kind of,
Yeah.
kind of the
Yep.
goofy, like, I
Right.
really like
Yeah.
that. It's always fun. Like, it's
That
just
is
kind
fun.
of
Yeah.
using the random things and
Yep.
flipping around, and yeah,
Yep. I
that was a
agree.
good time.
That was fun. What? So, what did you like? Like, how much?
Mhm.
What am I trying to say?
Yes. Yes.
What did you think overall of the episode? This episode.
I gotta say, I didn't really like it very much. I'm
Mm.
sure that's surprising. But it
Okay.
wasn't, I can't that one fight scene was fun, but the
Yes.
rest of it, I was either frustrated or bored a lot of the time.
Mm.
As we saw when she was talking about her mother dying and we were
Oh
very insensitive, but we're like,
gosh, yeah.
"Mm,
I have just the hardest time with scenes like that, unless they're really, really well done, which in this case, I feel like it was, I feel like it had to be there for a specific reason, obviously, so she could learn how to do the,
right,
but I feel like it was so scripted. I mean, it's scripted, but I feel like it's so scripted. Like, it's just shoot me now and,
yeah."
wake me up when
I
it's
mean,
over.
I don't know if I'm just cold-hearted, but, like, or if it's just the acting wasn't very impactful, but I was just kinda
Mm. It might have been the acting too. I didn't think about that,
like,
but
I didn't feel anything about it,
yeah.
which may
No, I felt like please stop and
yeah,
move on,
right, I'm like, "Yes, we know she died, like, okay, move on." It wasn't like, "Oh, man, that's right, she lost her mother. Oh,
Yeah.
that must be
No.
so hard for her." Like, I just
But
didn't
they keep
feel that.
but they keep harping on it without really giving I shoot off at harping.
Wow, like, "Ah, we know she died, wah, boo-hoo. Get over it."
That's not what I mean, but like they're not giving it any more depth. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like they're not giving it any more kind of
yes.
emotion or something.
It
So
just keeps
it's
being
the
kind of this, like,
same
this quick
thing.
scene of, like,
Yeah,
chaos and people getting burned and then, like,
right.
come back. Okay.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like I feel like if you're going to keep using this as kind of a catalyst for growth or something like that, it's great. But like, did it start again?
Yes, trying to.
Oh, okay. But like if you're going to use that as a catalyst, then you need to make it excuse me, more engaging, maybe show some I mean, I guess they were showing new scenes, but I don't actually recall, to be honest, if the scenes were the same as the ones that they were showing previously, but
Yeah, and I wonder if
except for the when she turned around, but
yeah,
that didn't evoke anything. So,
if they could have showed us more of her interacting with her mom maybe when she was alive, maybe that would help us care more that she's dead. I know that sounds very harsh, but But like I don't because it's also such a trope, right?
It
Like,
is, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well, your parents are dead. Like,
Yeah.
that's just you
You
expect
know,
that the kids don't have parents. That's
right.
just all these shows, like, they don't have parents. They
Yeah,
just
and
don't.
that's why they go around saving the world because they don't have parents.
Right, and just living in the woods by themselves and just, whatever.
Yeah.
They just don't have parents. It's
Yep.
just one of those
And
things.
then the grandma just sent them out to go save the world. Honey,
Yep.
what are you doing?
Alright, go for it. I'm like, "They're not qualified to do this."
I don't know. Like, I have a hard time with,
Yes.
yeah.
But
Okay.
hey,
So, okay. So, what would you rank it then?
I rank it definitely not Percy Jackson. Uh,
Poor Percy
and I know you guys are
Jackson.
watching this. We haven't even finished posting all the episodes of Percy Jackson yet.
We have it, and I don't know when
Oh,
those are coming out. We might just use those for. Never
boy.
mind. I'm not gonna say that. But
Yes. So, I'm probably somewhere like Imma say, I gotta say 6.
oh my goodness, that's exactly the
But
number I
it's
had in
a
my
but
head.
it's a solid 6. It's not a 6 with caveats, like, it's a 6 for this show. No, I think it's just, comparing to all things that I watch, it
Hmm.
is a 6. It's not a
Yeah.
Percy Jackson 6, it's a real 6. That's what I'm saying.
Because Percy Jackson was on the
It's on the
curve,
curve.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No, I ranked it a 6. Like that's the only number I had in my head. I was like, I can't go higher. Not this episode. I couldn't go
Yeah,
higher, and I don't think it's a 5 either. Like it wasn't horrible.
right.
It was just like it just
Yeah.
missed
Yeah,
the
because I mean,
mark
I try to
a couple
truly,
times.
like, look at 5 as, like, average, and I'm like, "Okay, this is better than average
Right.
of,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
things that I watch." Like,
Hmm.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
"I wasted my time watching this,"
Right.
so
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I didn't feel neutral, but 7 feels too high, so
7 feels too high. Exactly. I agree.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
there you go.
I mean, we're gonna keep watching. I mean, overall, I'm enjoying the show. I'm excited to
Yes.
see what happens next. We got a little
Hmm.
bit of mystery now, so
Yeah.
what's really going on.
Yeah.
Hoping we can get a little bit more mystery to kind of keep us wondering.
Yeah. So I
Um,
like that they're switching up the story because I don't know it. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay, let's see. So yeah.
yeah. What's
Yeah.
going on? Who's that? What's happening over there? So
Yeah.
yes, we shall see. We shall see. Well, folks, let us know what you thought about the episode. If you liked it, did you not like it? Is Aang getting on your nerves yet? How about Katara? Sokka, everybody else, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode. And always subscribe, give us a like, and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Yo.
I guess we'll see y'all in the next one. Ta
Ciao.
ta.